Here's a thought for people, okay? And I have to be incredibly careful how I say this. But let me just simply say this, because this is important, right? I want to get this through everybody's head, okay? We are living in a world today, hypothetically speaking, where a hypothetical sitting president could actually be executed by a hypothetical intelligence agency and the media not say a word about it, even though there is tangible evidence in recently declassified and released documents that make it very clear that that kind of thing happened. And my thought process is, if that can happen, if it can happen that according to the Durham report, something we've always been talking about from the very beginning, there was no viable basis for the FBI pursuing the investigations that they did concerning Russian collusion. As a matter of fact, there were a series of viable reasons why the FBI had every obligation to shut the investigation down, because they knew it was created by an opposing campaign. In a world today where the media still, even though with the tangible information, acknowledging the fact that the information is correct, still defends the actions of the people who initiated all of it. How about the fact that in a world today where a media tells us that it's okay for a president to continue to be a sitting president while being on the take, while a son who creates a national security problem by his, habit for whores and everything else, crack, all that, they make it look like this is all good. Hey, there's no problem. This is okay. It's the right extremists, white nationalists that want to destroy our country. It's the greatest danger ever. That's what this pile of garbage who oversees Homeland is saying.
Yeah.
What a joke. The FBI got caught riding dirty. Not for the first time, for like the 15th time, 20th time. And yet, no one's doing anything about it. This is insane, Monkey. This is crazy. It's completely out of control.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. Go back, and you're talking about the JFK thing, right? That all came out, and not a soul said a word. Didn't make the news. Anything. Just back page. Not even that. They didn't even acknowledge it. So then that's that piece, right? That tells you we've got a history of this. This isn't something that just happened overnight. The media will come out and tell you that, it was just a handful of bad guys, and they just didn't do the right thing, whatever it may be. But you can go look at Flashbang, you look at the 9 family members, the multitude of shell companies caught red-handed through bank transactions, having interactions with foreign nationals, which is how he even maintained or is able to even get a security clearance, blows me out of the water. And we know he does, because he comes out like an idiot that he is and starts talking about stuff that happens in a skiff. So he's got a clearance, because you're not sitting in a skiff if you don't have a clearance, really. So there's that aspect. But then you take this new piece with the Durham report that just dropped, and it's crickets. It showed up on the news for a day. Newsmax was the ones actually that were showing it for a day, and then after that, it just fizzles out. And I will tell you this, not everybody in the FBI is corrupt and bad.
No, most of the linemen are not.
38,000 employees in the FBI. Okay. But here's the thing. If the FBI wanted to, they could make this right. And how they would do that is make examples of the folks that got caught. Comey, Peter Schrock, or however you say his name, Rosenstein, the DOJ, Mueller, Barr, all of these guys that were colluding to cover this up and to stall tactic until Flashbang got in. If they wanted to make and set it straight and get some respect back for the FBI, all they'd have to do is make examples out of every one of those guys, lock them all up, and try them for treason. And that right there, everybody in the United States would be like, okay, you know what? These guys aren't so bad. They did what they needed to do, what they should have done. No level of accountability. That's the problem that I think everybody has. And the fact that they are starting to emulate through their actions, the Gestapo. And that's where I think everybody has a hard time with it. It's like, hey, wait a minute. This is 2 different sets of laws that, apply to me versus them. And that's where I think this thing goes south. But honestly, if they went in and they made examples for after the Stern report, and they said, you know what? That's it. These guys are all going down, and they're going to spend the rest of their lives in jail because of what they did, including the Clintons, including everybody else. We'd have a tremendous amount of respect for these folks, but they're not.